And with the clap, we're back.
Wow.
All right, here we are.
We never left.
It's the Happel Hour. I'm your host, Rich Happel. With me, as always, Dr. Taylor Schmidt.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, doctors don't sit like that.
I would say doctors sit exactly like this. When they're like vacationing, if a doctor has shorts on, they're definitely sitting like this.
And their mom tattoo.
And their mom tattoo. They are 100% legs crossed like this, reading about the respiratory system.
There are doctors that do
Did I nail it?
Yeah, you nailed one certain type of doctor. That's one definitive type of doctor.
Book on teeth?
That's another type of doctor.
Book on farm animals?
I guess. Vet,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Or literature. I thought a PhD in lit. I thought you were trying to talk about communism and how it's portrayed.
Cross-legged reading a book on brain. This is my understanding of the health system.
Yeah. Okay. And you're gonna wear flip-flops the whole time indoors?
What would you like me to do?
I don't know. It's just.
I
wouldn't be comfortable, but it's what you want to do.
I like it. You know, I feel like even though I am essentially barefoot right now, it doesn't feel like I'm barefoot.
That's true. You also have very nice toes. You have very manicured toes.
And I was waiting for the compliment. Really, I have a pair of shoes in my backpack. I'm going to switch it. I was just waiting for you to say I have nice toes.
All right. Put them in.
So off the top, redactions. Do we want to do any redactions from last week of any things that we said wrong?
I thought we were going to do that on the screen.
Oh, are we going to do that on the screen?
We could do it here.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like we should just. What do we have?
The Met.
The Met. Yes.
Yeah.
The Met. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how I said I went to the MoMA and I was like, is that the one on the Upper East Side? The one that's by the Guggenheim? And then you looked at me like I was an asshole.
Yeah.
And you confidently said, yeah. And then we're both wrong.
Yeah. I 100% was like, I was like, yeah, Upper East Side, definitely. And then I said it out loud as soon as I got home. And I was like, all right, that's on like 40th or something. And I was like, oh, that must be the Upper East Side.
Yeah. I told my
the
girlfriend.
MoMA must be on the Upper East Side. It's above the Flatiron.
Right. It's above that's the section of Italy people.
That is.
People get the charcuterie boards
anything above Flatiron. I'm like, oh, Upper East Side? Yeah, Times Square? Upper West? Upper West?
Yeah, you just get bad at directions also.
Oh, a terrible direction.
Yeah, so what else did we get wrong?
I believe Paul Rand, I probably have to redact this next time too. Paul Rand, 50s, 60s, 70s. I said 40s, 50s. And that's for the graphic design fans out there.
I'll tell you one thing. You didn't have to say anything because no one would have gave a fuck.
The comments on the first episode explode with, how dare you imply that Paul Rand, 40s, 50s, you fucking psycho.
I would have said if anyone commented, excuse me, you got the Paul Rand facts wrong, I would have re-commented and said, stop listening.
That's the base. That's the base that we're working at.
You're not the fan base I'm looking for, okay?
And then I wanted to do a live redaction. I wanted to double check.
A live redaction?
Live redaction about Salem, if witch trials happened anywhere else in America.
Oh, 100%. You don't even have to redact that. I feel like that goes without saying.
You feel like.
Did you? What did you do all week?
I really latched on to the Paul Rand thing, and then I was like, redaction!
You latched on to it,
we have to keep it honest.
If you're watching this on video, which, by the way, like and subscribe on YouTube. None of you are going to watch, but yeah, just fucking watch it on YouTube. You'll see my face when Taylor said Paul Rand. My face was, who the fuck is Paul Rand?
Rand Paul?
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. I know who RuPaul is. They're fabulous.
Witch trials in America.
Notice what pronoun I used for RuPaul.
What'd you use?
Them.
What?
Or their. I said they're fabulous.
Is that true? Is that the pronoun that they prefer?
I feel like that's the safest thing I could go with.
I don't think you understand how that works.
No, 100% that's how. If I go with he and they identify as a she.
Of course. But I believe you're supposed to just ask the pronouns.
Oh, yeah. Let me call up RuPaul and ask how. Yeah, let me hit them up.
For the pod. Say, hey, I'm doing a podcast and I just want to understand the pronouns for you. This is Rich Happel, by the way. and
No,
then he's
we're
like,
close.
"Oh, Rich. Oh yeah, it's Rich."
We're close.
Series of healing. You know what? We'll do it for episode 3. I can't be bothered to do research on the spot. I thought it was gonna be yes. I googled did witch trials happen anywhere else in America, and I was expecting yes, but that's not the case.
Okay. It's a yes. I don't even have to look it up. It's just a yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other redactions? I feel like there was one that I was thinking about on the way over here. Which, by the way, terrible Uber ride over here.
Oh, you're saying in the quarantine?
In the quarantine.
There's a bad...
Low quality ride. This guy would not stop talking to me about tropical storms in Florida.
In Florida. Once they cross Georgia, he's like, I'm out. Once it goes north of Tallahassee, not for me.
And it was just the perfect... Like, he navigated right into... Wouldn't give me an inch. I was, like, trying to say things, and then he would just keep talking over top of me. And so I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Tropical storms, that's nuts. I should have just disengaged, but I feel like that's such a disrespectful thing to, like, ignore somebody who's talking to you when they're driving you in the quarantine. Does that make sense?
I feel like this is a very odd position for an Uber driver to take.
Yeah.
And a New York City Uber driver. Because let's be honest... They don't come off as the type of people that are into weather.
Yeah. He was talking about the storm outside. It's currently raining.
It's raining.
It's
not raining. Is it raining?
No, I mean, it's rainy. It's rainy.
It's rainy.
It's on and off rain. He was talking about, oh, man, this rain's crazy. And then he got into wind speeds of rain. And then he got into, is it safe to be outside? And then he got into... This is nothing compared to how Florida's tropical storms are. And then I went, oh, this is the ride.
I would like to think that guy doesn't turn on his Uber app until it's pouring rain and he goes, this is it.
He's going, oh, this is it, baby.
We're about to trap some people in and talk about it.
Grab the keys. Let's go.
He's just like, there's a difference between a tropical storm and a hurricane. Did you know that?
Kill me.
Did you know that?
Oh, it was, you ever do that thing? I don't know if have you ever been in an Uber where like the guy was just talking to you the whole, I feel like I have the face of somebody who is asking to be told information that means nothing to me. Just like people telling me anecdotes, like I get nonstop people like Uber drivers will like, I will have the strike up conversation Uber driver. And I feel like it's
right.
me. I don't think it's a random thing. I think it's whatever presence I bring. As soon as I get in that car, they go, we're talking. We're chit-chatting.
Yes. And I also have that aura, I believe. And so what happens is once I walk out that door,
yes,
that door right there, this is my apartment. Once I walk out that door, my headphones go in immediately because I have a long history of people telling me their problems and I don't give a fuck.
I'll tell you one thing. I had the headphones in when I got in the car.
Wow.
Headphones in, and he played me like a fiddle. I got in, and he asked me like a common courtesy question, which was like he was saying something about he was something like this car was behind like riding my bumper, block back, and all that I said was, yeah, this road's crazy, and he was like, got you. I absolutely got you. That was my mistake. My mistake was I should have ignored that basic line of human communication.
Yeah. If I owned a company, what I would do is to build my sales team, I would take Ubers around New York City. And whoever, because this is how Uber drivers like to get in the conversation. They'll go, how's your night? And you're like, oh, good. That's how they open the door.
Yes.
So I go, okay, good night. And then they go, crazy traffic tonight.
Uh-huh.
And first of all, they don't sound like this. They sound different. They sound a little bit different than how I sound.
I will tell you that this guy sounded exactly like what you're saying.
Oh, really?
He sounded almost identical, like he had a script in front of him, like he was a telemarketer.
Oh no, I meant my accent. And,
oh no,
and how well my
I'm
English
sorry.
is.
Yeah, no, he doesn't sound like Long Island trash.
Right. No, they sound like a different type of trash.
No, this guy was clearly Florida trash.
Was he really?
He talked about how he lived in Florida for 6 years, which thus his in-depth knowledge of Florida tropical storms.
What? It was a white guy?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
A New York City Uber white guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that is a little weird.
Yeah.
Right?
What did you think I was referring to this whole time?
I also didn't. I don't know when I said he was white.
I meant middle-aged men. I meant middle-aged men from Senegal. That's what I meant.
What part of my last sentence did you go? Oh, he's white. I said he was living in Florida for 6 years, thus his knowledge of tropical storms, and you went, he's a white guy?
I've been saying a lot of things, Taylor. I've been saying a lot of things for you to know that I'm talking about 45-year-old Senegalian men. All right, that's what. I was like, usually they don't like weather. And you were like, I know. And I was like, they don't usually sound like me. And you said, I know.
Because in my head, I was like, right. I obviously had a white guy driver. But then as soon as you said that, I was like, right, I don't typically. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm with you. Yes, older white gentleman. Florida, 6 years, deep knowledge of tropical storms. And it got to the level of detail where he was giving me advice on how best to board up my windows in case of a serious tropical storm. Apparently, insider tip, do not duct tape an X on your window.
Oh.
Yes.
Because that means looters will come in?
That's a way better explanation than I just was like, huh? I was like, why? And apparently, 2x4s are supposed to smash the windows, and then tiny pieces of glass are supposed to go everywhere. But if you duct tape it, you're more likely to get giant shards of glass flying into your house. And he described them as guillotines flying around your house. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind for the windows in my house in hurricane season in New York. You know, that last one that we had
Sandy.
7 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Eight. Yeah. Well, also, let's get this straight. You come in episode 1 talking about fucking graphic design knowledge.
Yeah.
Now you're coming in with a bunch of facts about
hot
about
Florida
how to prepare
tropical
yourself for
storm knowledge. That's what I have now. That's
who are our listeners?
Yeah.
Who are we trying to get?
And you know what? This is the episode. This is the episode because I got to the point of silence in the car ride where I did that thing where like he was doing that last bit of like, oh, isn't this like you could tell he was like, we're done talking about this. Even though I had been done for 5 minutes. I was staring out the window and every time he finished his thought, I just went, that's crazy. I just went, that's crazy. And then stared out the window at anything out the window. And so finally he had like finished a comment and then I just didn't say anything. I didn't go, I didn't go crazy. I just went. And then we sat in silence for 3 minutes. And then he goes, man, those Jeep pickup trucks look awful.
Of course, the next thing a guy from Florida would talk about is a Jeep pickup truck. You trash fuck.
And I was like, oh, this is it. We're right back where we started from. He's running the show. We're now going to talk about fucking pickup trucks for the rest of the time. We had just gotten over the bridge, and I was like, oh, we still have like 15 minutes left in this. And that's exactly what happened. We talked about how his dad used to...
What?
He brought up...
Taylor, this is a 20-minute Uber ride. You don't live far from me. How much did you guys talk about? Do you know this man before you took the Uber? Was this even an Uber?
I'm giving him my kidney.
Push comes to shove. I'm the godfather to his children now.
I'm officiating his wedding next month. Swear he got onto his dad used to repair cars. That was that was a topic of discussion in the tail end of the ride. And then it just ended with, all right, man, be safe. That was it. We got to the front of your apartment and I was just trying to get the door open. And then I was just like, all right, man, be safe. And he's like, all right, man, I'll try.
He said he'll try. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just a bad boy. Yeah. I'm just doing bad boy
He's like,
things.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I've actually, I have several holes in this mask. I'm wearing the entire ride.
I don't know if you noticed, man. These are semi-leather seats I'm driving up here. I don't really like to live safe.
I'm actually, full disclosure, if I go under 35 miles an hour, the car will explode. I had to roll out, and he's like, all right, be safe. All right, man, I'll try.
So good.
Good Uber ride.
Good
I had
Uber ride.
a good Uber ride. I had a great Uber.
I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were going to talk about how we couldn't find a Red Bull in Finite. And then you're like, we got to delay the Red Bull talk because, boy, do I have some things to tell you about prepping for tropical storms.
Put away that duct tape. I don't want to fucking see that duct tape. Don't you even think about putting an X on a window.
I think this guy, he wouldn't have talked to you, but then he saw that you have paint stains on your sweatshirt, and he said, this is a guy whose life also is pretty low. Let me strike up a conversation with this jamoke. No tattoos on his torso, but 4 tattoos on his legs.
Yeah.
This guy's from Florida.
I like to keep it professional.
Imagine if you went into the Uber, he talks about all this, and then he goes, oh, by the way, did you know Paul Rand was actually...
Did you know that the witch trials happened outside of Salem?
That's what you should have said. You should have reported him to Uber, and when they're like, what's the complaint? You just go, he didn't have any of the facts I needed.
He didn't have any of the facts. I was like, so Paul Rand, right? That was a 40s, 50s graphic designer?
You should have just walked into the Uber.
Yeah,
you should have sat down into the Uber and said, excuse me, what topics are you going to force on me? And he would have said, oh, I'm going to force on tropical weather storm prep. And you're like,
I get in. I'm like, what topics are we covering? He's like, all right, well, off the bat, we're going to talk about the reviews for Waterworld. I swear to God, that was the beginning of our conversation.
Wait, what's Waterworld?
Waterworld?
I don't know what that
is. Okay, I'm remembering the exact initial beat, which was there was a guy on his rear bumper.
Okay.
So he was like, yeah, nobody's following the laws. And I was like, yeah, man, the streets are getting crazy. Already, we're best friends. I'm making all the mistakes in the book. And then he goes, yeah, man, it's going to turn into Mad Max out there. And I was like, yeah, Fury Road, right?
Oh, shut the fuck up! If I was in that Uber, I would have said, everyone shut the fuck up.
And then he goes, yeah, you know, as long as it doesn't turn into Waterworld. And I was like, and I was like, yeah.
I thought he was going to take it through all the shootings going on in Brooklyn. That's what he's like, no, you know what's more important than these shootings? The 3/4 of rain we're expecting tonight.
Are people following the 25-mile-an-hour rule on these streets? That's yeah. So Waterworld is like Mad Max, but the whole world is covered in water.
Oh. Who was in that?
It's somebody very famous, but it was
Why am I asking? I'm not gonna watch it. Who cares?
No. It's worth knowing because it's I believe it's hold on. It's an insane cast. It's not an insane cast.
It's not gonna be an insane
Kevin
cast.
Costner. Kevin Costner.
Oh, fuck you! It's an insane cast.
No,
What's it to this cast?
Kevin Costner doing a post-apocalyptic movie? Kevin Costner.
No. Has Kevin Costner ever won an Academy Award?
I believe so. Yeah,
No,
Dances with Wolves, right?
I don't know. I don't even like movies.
Are you kidding
I don't know.
me?
Why am I trying?
Dances with Wolves.
This is how you get into the Uber conversations. I'm doing the same exact mistakes as you.
Bingo. Got it. Bam. Gotcha. Got him for it. Won 7 Oscars. No, but Waterworld was notoriously received as like a terrible film. Terrible, awful film. So anyway, that's what we started talking about. And then wind be crazy, right? Wind in a rainstorm is crazy, right?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you know, it is pretty crazy out there. You know, it's been about over 400 shootings in the past 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy. I haven't really been paying to the shootings, more the topography of the area. You've been paying attention to the weather maps?
Yeah. The guy, he's like protest schmotest. Let's talk about weather patterns.
It's like, yeah, man, coronavirus is all run by the government.
Yeah.
But you know what I do trust? Weather.gov. You've been checking out their forecast?
I just get in and he's just like, hey, you want to talk about the 7-day or what's up? We're talking 7-day forecast or what's going on here?
This guy's still on fucking global warming and shit. We don't care anymore.
Uber drivers should be required, if they're going to talk, they should have a list of general topics that they cover.
No, that's the beauty of Uber. Also, I don't take Uber. I take Lyft. I don't know if
how's
there's
Lyft working in the pandemic? Like,
I took it once.
Isn't it a group share?
No, that's Via. Lyft is an Uber competitor.
Lyft started out as a group share.
Oh.
Right? And then they got the individual rides. So
I don't know, because I make a little money, and I don't need to take that rideshare bullshit.
So, okay. Oh, I thought Lyft was the step up from Uber. I was like, that can't be right.
No, it's equal.
Okay.
They're equal to each other.
And
I have a higher rating on my Lyft than I do on my Uber because one of my friends who may or may not be listening to this podcast, I took him home 3 times when we were in college from on Long Island. He threw up in an Uber 3 times. 3 separate Ubers. He threw up in 3 separate Ubers. My rating went down. It doesn't matter how much he pays me back. All that matters is my rating's down. So I use Lyft.
Your Uber score was terrible.
I'm at like a 2.9 on Uber. Lyft, I'm at a 5.0. So I stick with Lyft.
The Uber driver gets a note if you're on Uber, and they're just like, just so you know, this guy's gonna puke in your car.
Well, listen, if you're
there is considering how many rides you've gone in, there's a 30% chance.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm a 2.9 now, that means I was a 3.4 before the last throw up. So this guy saw that and said,
I want to know.
I have to talk about some fucking weather going on. Let's pick up this jamoke.
Oh, I want to know how many, like, after the first throw up in the backseat, how far did your score go down? After the second throw up in the backseat, how much did it go down?
I didn't even know. I didn't even check.
That would be amazing, because I would love it if somebody was like, listen, I don't want to be a jerk about this, but all right, I'm going to have to give you a negative. And then after the third one, they're just like, are you fucking joking? 3?
Should have been like, it's on me at this point. It's on me.
Yeah,
I apologize, if anything. I should have known. It's not your fault.
So yeah, Red Bulls are insane.
Yeah.
Fucking, what was it? Minimums. The fucking price minimum.
Oh, the credit card minimums.
Oh my God. This is right before. Well, I mean, is there even a point in bringing it up again?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
All right. What's up with you?
What's up with me? I don't know. What you do for the 4th? You stayed in Brooklyn.
Stayed in Brooklyn.
Is that like that?
Watched Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
It's good. Hot take. It was good.
Yeah.
Hot take. Really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful piece of art. I really didn't want to like it, if I'm being totally honest.
Okay.
Nothing? There's nothing from.
Yeah, I have no interest in Hamilton. And for some reason, you're a racist for saying that. I'm a racist for saying I don't like people. Like, oh, why? Because you don't like that they're including hip hop in American history. And I'm like, no, because I know the ending of the story. Like, I know what happened. I don't want to hear raps about this. I know.
There's got to be other examples of like a movie that you'll watch, even though you know the ending to it. Like, is there any? Oh,
I don't know.
Oh man, this is not a good moment to not have an example. This is like,
yeah, you wanted to call me up for being a racist. How'd that one turn out? You dumb fuck.
No. Okay, so it's only because you know the ending that you don't want to watch.
Because I know the story. Because I took how many history classes growing up? Like, I know what happened.
Yes, but have you seen it wrapped?
That's the point everyone's trying to make.
I'm just saying,
does it
that's
matter?
Not a good look. The only thing holding you back is the hip hop aspect of a story you already.
No, it's the story aspect of the story. But people try to spin it and say I'm a racist because it's hip hop. No, I know what happened.
Yes. Listen.
Bohemian Rhapsody I saw knowing the history. And let me tell you something. It got most of the facts wrong. So it doesn't even matter. It's as if it didn't even tell history in that movie.
It's as if it were only designed to be entertaining.
But if you're going to make a biopic, if you're gonna make a biopic on a guy's life, get the facts right. All right.
What
Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I knew the ending.
Is that he's still
gay.
living? That's the twist. That's the big twist.
That's what I thought the twist would be, right?
That's the twist of the Elton John movie. Is that he's. Oh, turns out he was gay the whole time.
When he started hooking up with his manager, I said, "What?"
I did not see this coming.
It's like Elton John's gay. I'll give you that. I saw Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody both knowing the history.
It's just generally I think generally most biopics involve somebody ultimately dying. There's very few biopics about somebody who doesn't ultimately die because you don't typically do the biopic. Like 8 Mile and Rocket Man, I think, are the few biopics where the person is still alive when it comes out. So it's like your argument that
people are going to rip you apart for that statement. They're going to go through all the biopic history.
Oh,
and be like, those are the only two.
I'm taking my business elsewhere. So your argument that you know the ending of it is because he dies is I don't think works because it's like so you just hate biopics is what I'm hearing.
No, it's just I have no real interest in seeing it.
I hear that. And I think it was always the amount of money for it to see it on Broadway. That was the only way you could see it. This Disney Plus thing was the only first time that was ever released in any sort of real sense. So I think I don't know. I think I have an issue with like things that are regarded as like perfect. I am very like hesitant to like jump into.
Okay.
You know, like my instinct is like it can't be that good. And then I'm like, ugh, I want to be like blown away by it.
Okay.
And ultimately, fucking great. I feel like obviously that's a drop in the bucket of a million people who are like, this is incredible, but it was really good. I would say do it not for the story, but just for the way that they tell history in such a entertaining and like not emotional. It's very like people who I only saw as like paintings, oil paintings, and like dollar bills, and you know, like people who only existed to me as like you know what I'm saying.
Kind of.
Seeing, I'm not a person I don't read history books. I'm not reading like biographies of things.
Right.
And so people from history who I only know as like these very like monumental founding fathers, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. I only know them as like money and oil paintings.
Right.
Or in The Patriot.
Or in The Patriot.
So to see them actually portrayed as like people who have thoughts and feelings and like can feel sadness and joy, I'm like, that's very interesting.
Okay. That seems like more of a you thing than a general audience thing.
I think that's how that's how opinions work.
I thought when you first were saying this, you turned on Hamilton and you're like, they were all black? They were all black slam poets back then?
How did I miss this?
You're like, first I found out
asleep in this class, in this history class.
First I find out Jesus isn't white, and now you're telling me Andrew Jackson, Alexander Hamilton, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, watch it. I would definitely watch it. I mean, I get why you don't want to watch it. I can understand. I don't think it's a racist point of view to not like.
I'm just not dying to
watch a story that you know how it's going to play out. Do you really know all the details? I didn't know shit about him.
I don't know all the details. I think it's a little weird. Correct me if I'm wrong here. That they did the duel in New Jersey.
Did he not do it in New Jersey?
I believe he did do it in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because they were in New York.
That factually,
they literally like they agreed to a duel like around the corner from this apartment.
Yeah.
And then they're like, law says we have to go to Jersey.
Yeah, the lawless land.
Do you know, like, if you're gonna just kill? First of all, back then there weren't laws.
Right.
There weren't laws.
Yeah, I think Shar had that point, which was just like murder. Oh no, my brother had that point, which was murder was so easy.
Right.
Murder was there was never a criminal trial in that, and like 7 people get murdered.
Right. Like to me, it's such a like a dumb idea because they went on Wall Street right here. They were like, we are gonna duel. First of all, I think I'm kind of right when I'm saying this.
It's tracks with what I watched.
Okay.
I watched it a week
And
ago.
but I don't
You're
know if
doing
it
a
was.
very good job.
I don't
It
know
sounds like you've watched it, but
I don't know if it was Wall Street. I think it was another street, but I'm gonna keep saying Wall
you're
Street.
talking about his son?
I don't know. But they agreed to the duel, and they were like, all right, we could do it here,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
we could commute 9 hours to New Jersey.
I would love
Were
it.
bridges around then?
They
If
took
Hamilton
a boat. They took a boat
they took a boat.
in the play. They took a
Okay,
boat.
so if they took a boat,
Bridges probably.
the whole reason I would watch Hamilton is to be like, they take a bridge over there, or is it take a boat?
You just want to know the mode of transportation.
Yeah, how'd they get over to Jersey? Now you told me about the boat, so now I,
mean,
really
it's-
have no
yeah,
reason to
Yeah,
watch.
exactly. The big spoiler is that they took a boat across the river. I would love it if like they didn't. They were more specific about what part of Jersey they were gonna go to, where they were just like, I challenge you to a duel, and I will meet you in Atlantic City.
I believe
true.
it was West New York, if you want to fact check me on that one.
Yeah, why were you saying Jersey though?
It's called West New York, New Jersey. That's a town in New Jersey.
So stupid.
It's so stupid.
That's the stupidest.
the dumbest
That's
thing
the
in the
dumbest. Listen. Retraction that I remember is that people from Albany, the city of Albany, probably isn't as bad as I portrayed it in episode.
world. Yeah.
That was it. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
To say.
That is a retraction because that city fucking sucks.
My retraction was I was probably a little too hard on a city that I've been to one time for a wedding.
Nope.
That was okay. That was pretty nice. That was nice. It was a nice wedding. Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
I feel like
Great
Mark's
wedding. It was a beautiful wedding.
Mark's
It
the
was
only guy
beautiful.
watching. He's just waving
Yeah,
back at his
exactly.
computer.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
I know Mark will watch this. So. We'll cut that.
Did Mark got married in Albany?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He didn't make enough money to go to Saratoga?
He lives in Albany.
Oh, my God. You poor bitch.
I know. This is yeah, that's what my retraction is it's probably a little too hard on Albany for a city that I know nothing about except what you said, which was they got their canal removed.
They got the canal
They got their
replaced.
a root canal. Come on. Hey, come on. Big
There you go. And he quit comedy?
Yeah, why?
Uh,
Like and subscribe. Let me know if I can get back into it.
everyone
I
comment.
need your approval to get back into it.
Everyone comment. Give us 5 stars, and
5
then
stars.
as the comment, put why you think Taylor quit comedy.
Yeah, and then also tell us your favorite Paul Rand logo that he designed. FedEx, is
Not
it
IBM.
Is it the FedEx? Huh? We didn't. Graphic design of the day. We'll make a little graphic. Graphic design.
We're not going to do that.
Graphic design of the day.
At the end of the day, this is my podcast, and I refuse to do that.
Yeah, Taylor, who's doing the design work, put a little graphic design of the day here.
Oh yeah, you did the design. I go off on Andy Warhol and how
Yeah.
all he did was take pictures and kind of stack them on top of each other and make
Yeah.
them a grid, and then someone else did the work.
Yeah.
You basically did that with the design.
Yeah. It was intentional. I wanted it to
Did you
look like
really do it
Yeah.
intentionally?
Yeah, I wanted
All
it to
right.
look, yeah, I thought it would be hilarious.
Well, then tip of the cap to you.
I hope that this is the artwork that we picked because it looks like it was made by somebody who thought it was a graphic design podcast. That's the way it.
Oh, is that
looks. Yeah.
All right.
Keep it. I say we keep it. Yeah, FedEx logo. What about it?
It's got the arrow and the E.
It's pretty good, right?
I like how you think that these are like marvels. When I did cancer research, we talk about people that are making breakthroughs and saving people's lives. And in your field, you're like, this guy
Yeah.
put an arrow and an E.
Yeah, because it tells people
Fuck you.
that they move.
And then the rest of the world just sees the FedEx logo, and they're like, FedEx.
Yeah.
And they don't even see the arrow.
Yeah.
Until someone points it out to them.
Right.
Some art bitch like you. I was going to use another word, but I don't want to be censored.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Hey Taylor, bleep that so it sounds like he said something worse.
Yeah. What would be great is if you dubbed over that with your voice. Yeah. If you, when I make fun of you, if you just dub over with your voice, like instead of air, bitch, it's like air, and then your voice, like fag. And then I watch the episode in a week, and I'm like, what? Did he put fag over bitch with his voice?
Just nothing but racial slurs.
I'm looking up where Alexander Hamilton got.
Is it Atlantic City's in New Jersey, right?
It's in New Jersey. That's not. Well, who got? Was it him or who got? Where?
I mean, I would be shocked to my core if Atlantic City was even an idea at that point in
Hamilton
colonial times.
First of all, Weehawken. It was in Weehawken.
Yeah, but I remember them saying
just
something about
south
like
of West New York.
Oh, okay.
That was it. Well, okay. So that's that. I also said Alexander Jackson a few too many times, so we won't edit that, but know that I'm wrong.
There you go.
Know that I'm wrong there. All right.
Rich was wrong. There you go.
Put it in.
Put it in. Rich was wrong. Yeah. Rich was down lower thirds.
I don't even know if we have the ability to put something here, but in case we do, because we have a dopey premiere. Fuck you, everyone else.
It's gonna end up being like 6 different locations. You did over here, and then over here, and then way down below, and then up.
And then it shows up at the end of the episode when the screen's black. And that's when it shows. I'm like, all right, we're learning.
So yeah, watch Hamilton. I had a really hard time getting into it. Like just like what was the last musical you watched?
I saw
Book of Mormon.
No.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Thank you.
Is that a musical?
It is. I was not expecting that. I was expecting because you see the sign. First, I'm about to spoil Dear Evan Hansen. So
if a spoiler that
if you haven't,
does he write a letter?
He does write a letter.
Yeah, it's called Dear Evan Hansen.
I know. Well, you wouldn't know if he wrote the letter or if someone else wrote the letter, but he did.
I don't know who anyone is.
First of all, I won't say what type of letter because that's a curveball and a half. But you see the billboards around the city, and you're like the kids in a cast, and you're like, how'd he get into the cast? He's been in the cast. He was in the cast for 99% of the fucking thing. It made me pissed again. That's another thing I got pissed about.
I don't have any clue what you're talking about.
Oh my God. What? Play. It was actually very funny. I didn't think I was going to like it.
Yeah?
It was very good.
I have it's been a while since I've seen a play or seen a musical. And the sing-songy aspect of it.
Right.
Where you're kind of sing-talking at each other, a sing conversation.
Right.
That is really hard to get back into. Like just like following along and just like everybody seems like so casual and like, and then they're talking about the Revolutionary War and like they're like revolution, and the singing aspect of it is like it felt like like a donut with mustard on top of it. Like two things that should never ever go together is what it felt like. But I got used to it. Yeah. Donut
singing and then talking.
Singing, talking, like your conversation is a song. Does that make sense?
I'll tell you what we should do. We should do a musical episode of this.
I would rather travel across the country with my Uber driver. I would rather get into an Uber and say, let's go to California.
We just start the episode, you're like, you don't put the X's on the 2x4s.
No X's on the 2x4s.
And then my roommate Mike just pops out of his room. No X's on the 2x4s. But don't tell me what episode it is. Just go into it. So I'm not prepared.
They just constantly like the setup for a song, and I'm just like, no. Do not do this.
I don't know if this matters. All right, we're too late in.
So yeah, 4th of July was good. Watched Hamilton. Ate burgers and hot dogs.
That's good.
Dealt with shitty fireworks.
Yep. Well, you've been dealing with that probably for like 2 weeks.
Like a month, like a full month. So stupid.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you stick around here?
I spent the 4th of July hearing how coronavirus is political and how the Redskins isn't a racist team name. So did I spend it on Long Island? You betcha.
You betcha.
You bet your bottom dollar. Another musical.
Is there anything coherent about that explanation?
Yeah.
What is it?
I won't
or
say.
Is it just like gurgles and just like kind of moaning and just screaming into the air and throwing things around?
Yeah, I won't say who said these things, but it's people close to me. And if their defense for the Redskins was, is their skin not red?
No.
And I'm like, it's more of a clay.
That's not better.
It's more of a clay, if anything. It's more of a pottery. But that doesn't sound like a good team name.
I like how you were just like, yeah. The way I say it, it's like poetic.
What I'm trying to say is, if you took a piece of pottery and went to half of Oklahoma, you win which was which. No, it's a real thing someone said to me. It's a real thing someone said to me, and then I had to hear how coronavirus is political.
Okay.
100% political.
What does that mean? People say that often in articles that make me upset. But I think I have a grip on what does that mean? They're saying it's not real?
Then the people I talk to, and again, I won't say names, but
okay.
It seems like they acknowledge that it's real, but that it's being overplayed. And because it started with people saying like, this is political. That started like a month and a half ago. And that's when the red states started seeing flare-ups and the blue states started seeing down.
Yes.
But no one was saying this was political back in March and April when the blue states were seeing spikes and the red states were going down.
Yeah, but people say political. I go, okay, well, it sounds like you're saying it's not real. And then they go, no, it's real. It's just there's like 12 cases. Is that seems to be what it's like? It's not as bad as if like a moderate pandemic is an okay thing to happen.
This is what I want. This is Taylor.
This
is what I want to do with you. Okay, this is what we'll do before the 3rd episode. I'm going to take you to a supermarket in Long Island.
Okay,
and if you go down every aisle, there's 2 people talking, and in every conversation they go, "Well, I guess they could protest, but I can't take this mask off." That's something that's being said in every aisle of every supermarket on Long Island right now. All of them. And then I'm just trying to buy some cheese. I'm just over here. You are in front of the cheese, and I would like to buy some cheese.
You guys are spoiling the dairy aisle right now. You guys are ruining this for me. Just trying to get some Gouda. That's it.
I don't know. One thing I'm happy about, Long Island is progressing, and they are saying that it is more political. Because if this was 2013, 2012, there's a few people that said that Hurricane Sandy's gay. And, we're making steps forward. We're making steps forward on Long Island because I thought I would hear...
that was their formal stance on Sandy. They're like, was it good or bad? No.
Yeah,
did you not hear me?
COVID's trying to make our kids gay. That's why they can't go to school anymore. And you're like... So are you gay? Are you telling people? What's your point on this? So yeah, that was the thing, and then I found out I'm going. So I don't know if I should even be saying this, but my girlfriend's sister's gonna get married. I'm gonna go up to Syracuse.
When
in August 8th is the wedding.
It's wild. I believe we're no longer going to that wedding at the end of August.
Where was that?
Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Yeah.
Allentown.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this.
Harrisburg.
Yeah. I'm going to say this only because it's very funny to me. I told Charlotte that I said that I didn't think that it was a good idea that we go because I didn't think I'd be able to find a suit in time at this point.
Yeah. You not having a suit is one of the least surprising things.
It was black tie optional. Do you have a
black tie optional?
black tie optional?
So you had an option. You could have fucking went like that. Like,
Rich.
what's up, squad? Or what's even better is if you wore a tux, but you also wore all your fucking pins on the back of the tux. And you're like, this is a new one I got. It's a sriracha bottle.
I got it because I like sriracha.
Do you guys know what sriracha is?
Yeah, you put it on eggs, avocado toast, most of the breakfast foods, tacos. Yeah, that's get in depth about it. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously it's very dangerous. Cases are going up, but at the same time, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. How am I supposed to find a suit right now in a fucking pandemic?
Yeah, you can't really do that.
How? Yeah, I mean, am I gonna go order one online and just hope it fits? No one has ever put on a suit the first time and been like, good to go.
Right, but also, as a 27-year-old,
Yes.
you should have a suit. What did you wear to job interviews?
Tucked in, shirt tucked in, pants, khakis belt.
So you went in dressed. You went in dressed for a full-time position with a college degree. The some way a 14-year-old goes in to get a caddy job. You just walked in with a tucked-in shirt, and you're like, "Sir, I like golf."
I did that thing where I licked my hand and then I like smeared my hair to the side. Just.
Tell us a little about yourself, Taylor. What you like to do? I play football, and I can't do Tuesdays or Thursdays. I have practice, so I could do any other day.
Paul Rand.
That's what got you the job. They're like, did you bring up Paul Rand?
I got I mean, I found my job on Craigslist, so
that's
already,
also true.
Yeah, that's also so. It's like, you know,
you found your job the same way people find hookers to murder.
Yes.
The same thought process went through both.
I talked to my coworkers about, like, I feel like I was kept on this job because I didn't try to rip anybody's skin off the first year of working there. Like, I got to keep my job because I didn't try to eat anyone.
What'd you say Taylor's better than Slimy Jim? Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say he's better than that Slimy Jim?
Yeah, I mean, it was a close call. I mean, there was you, and then there was the guy who's still sending us women's hair in the mail.
It's like he's getting it wholesale.
But boy, did he have a strong understanding of web design.
We fired him because he said Paul Rand was from the 40s. And we can't have people spewing nonsense
that
around
sick
here.
Son of a bitch. Designing in the World War II era? Are you insane? I promise you I got my job because I showed up with a resume that had my logo. I have my own logo.
You have your own logo?
Of course I do.
I'd punch you in the face if I saw that resume.
If you are a graphic designer who does not have, right out of college, who does not have a logo for yourself, what are you doing? There's no reason why you shouldn't at least try to just brand self-branding. Come on, you should have a logo if you're going.
I do now with the fucking Happy Hour.
Yeah, exactly.
That you ripped Andy Warhol off of.
Yeah. And actually, I paid somebody else to do it.
Didn't even do it. Did you really pay someone else?
No. That would be amazing. I was just watching them click, and I was like, that looks good.
Yeah. I like the green better than the blue.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. Well, what do you think? Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Put Elvis in there? So my resume and my portfolio, the logos matched, and then they made a comment about it in the interview. And to this day, I'm pretty sure that's what got me my job.
Shouldn't that be standard that the logos
Absolutely
match?
should. I think they interviewed 7 people and none of them had that. So that's Craigslist graphic design for you.
There you go. It doesn't sound like you were too good for your job. It sounded like your job was like, we just need A warm body.
Woo! Listen, I was desperate to get on my job before that. And I am more than comfortable talking shit about that job.
Oh, yeah, you hated that
job.
job.
Oh, that job fucking sucked. 6 weeks without a paycheck? No, thank you. I got to have some standards. 4 weeks is fine. 6 weeks, not so much. Desperate to get out. To the point where I went to Craigslist, and the fact that I found a job from there, that's just desperate people finding desperate people.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's what we had in common.
Right.
It wasn't so much that they were like, well, we're looking for somebody with skill set. They were just like, we need somebody who has functioning all the fingers enough to click a mouse. Like can you do that? And I'm like, yes. Yeah.
Right. Craigslist does for the graphic design industry what eHarmony does for 50-year-olds. It's like, you're lonely. You need a person.
That's exactly
Well, we get you two together.
We both showed up and we're like, yeah, we're twice divorced. The last one was really not good. And really, that's what we had in common. They had a terrible previous employee. I had a terrible previous employer. We were a match made in heaven.
I don't want to scare you, but I have a dog named Patrick. And they were like, we all have dogs named Patrick.
Okay, you're going to think this is weird. No, I don't think you're going to think this is weird.
I don't think you're comfortable with how chill we are with that.
It was actually a mandatory for this position. On my resume, to this day, I put do you have an interests section on your resume?
I did, but then I became an adult.
It's hurtful.
Because I started looking at resumes when I did cancer research, ladies. And the amount of people that put so much stupid shit in their resume, you're not experienced at all, but you enjoy jogging? I don't give a fuck.
Well, you don't subscribe to that theory that most people are hiring people who they want to work with. It's
that's
your skill
the
set.
Interview. That's the interview process.
What interview have you walked away from being like, oh, they got a good perception of what my personality is? I have never. I've always been like, I'm in interview mode, and I'm just fucking like
the job I'm currently at, which is why I could afford this apartment. Unlike the cancer research job where I hated everyone, and I don't care if they listen to this. It's the truth. I hated you all.
No, I put interest, and to me, that's I feel like a hot take on graphic designers. Reading a resume, it's essentially all the exact same information. You cannot really diversify your skill set off the bat because every graphic designer knows Photoshop and Illustrator and has an idea of basic shit.
Right.
So if you're hiring a graphic designer and you get a resume that just has skills, you're going to get 50 of those and go, I have no clue what could possibly be the difference between these people. But if you put your interests up front.
So what are your interests?
Oh boy. This
is where it gets interesting. I feel like your interest, it's like, I like pens and stickers. And then I would have been like, aren't those the same thing kind of? And you would be like, this job isn't right for me.
It is. I don't think it's gonna work out. No, I was very specific about. Very specific in a very stupid way about what I wanted my interest to be. I put things that were eye-catching, but nobody would have the counter argument to. Does that make sense? Nobody.
What?
Yeah, I put the
I'm
most
scared,
thought. I put the most thought into the interest section. So.
That's such a graphic design thing to do.
I put so much fucking thought into this. I just slapped on all my experience and I just threw in some random skills. And then the interest section, I was like tapping a pencil aggressively, just like, what am I gonna put here?
And the medical industry were like, well, what research have you published? Mm-hmm. You're like, no, I need them to know what I like to do outside of work.
Yes, absolutely. I put movies. My interests include movies. And then
movies.
I gave an example for each.
Oh my God.
Yes, of course, because that's the conversation starter in the interview. You ask me, do I know graphic design? I go, yes. And then you're like, let's talk about your movies.
I wouldn't have survived in this field.
Yeah, no, you definitely wouldn't have. No, absolutely not. Because you have to put your favorite movies. I put the... It's a mandatory. I put movies, the producers. Because no one is going to fight you on putting down the producers.
I thought they were going to be like, he might be gay.
No,
He might
no
check
can
a
do.
box off.
No can do. No can do. I think TV show, I put either Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Arrested Development. I think I put Arrested Development because I'd much rather talk about that with anybody who brings that up, right?
Okay.
Right? I put down dog. I put down dogs. I put dogs, and then I put down corgi because, no one, I mean, you could certainly say like, it's a little pretentious when you have a corgi or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Sandwich.
But you don't have a corgi. You've never once owned a corgi.
No, but I like them. What? I could.
If I were to see you put dogs corgi, I would have been like, oh, so what's your corgi's name? And then you would have been like, what?
Yeah, I don't know corgi.
I just like them.
Yeah,
and other dogs.
If I put down my favorite fantasy creature was a dragon, you'd be like, all right, so how long have you owned your dragon for? You know what I mean? Like that's a airtight argument that I've just made. Okay, can I get to the insane part? Sandwiches.
You put sandwiches?
Swear to God. Currently, my current resume, which has not been updated in 3 years, currently says my interests include movies, television, dogs, sandwiches, and then the example that I gave was ham.
I want to hit you. I want to hit you right in the face.
I put ham sandwich because it's.
If you told me if I heard your favorite sandwich was a ham sandwich, I would say this is the most boring bitch on the face of the earth. And this time I would say bitch, not like last time.
It's just like in hindsight, I was just like, wow, like as if I thought somebody was gonna argue about my favorite sandwich, like, oh, you're a roast beef guy, get the fuck out of here. We are turkey clubs only at this company. No, ham sandwich, and my coworker has told me that. In the 3 years that I've worked there, she's never once seen me eat a ham sandwich.
Yeah,
which is
no
true.
one eats
I've
a
never
ham
had
sandwich.
that. I've never had it before. I don't know why I put it.
When
down.
you get lunch catered, when you get sandwiches, there's always leftover ham because it's the worst sandwich.
Yeah, I guess I always think it's dirty for some reason.
It's not kosher.
Yeah, it's not kosher. So yeah, I put sandwiches ham because it just sounds funny to me. Nobody reads. Nobody reads.
I noticed how on all your
ham.
and your whole portfolio.
Because I have no response to this.
Your whole portfolio, all the logos matched up, which we really liked.
Yeah.
Also, does this say ham?
We actually called you in here purely
because we didn't believe you.
We couldn't believe
you. Don't have the job.
We thought that this is. Yeah, there is no job. We just
no job.
We purely wanted to make sure that you actually put ham on your resume. No, I was actually hired because they had all these leftover ham sandwiches, and they're like, we just need somebody to take care of.
So like, we wanted to see what type of person would walk in here who said their favorite sandwich was ham, and we all guessed it would be a guy who wouldn't wear a suit. So get the fuck out.
Who has a tucked-in J. Crew button-down, who looks like he just licked his hand and smeared it on his forehead 5 seconds before walking into this interview.
By the way, did you go to the third best graphic design school?
You betcha. They're not teaching that at RISD, folks. They're not teaching that
No,
at
those
RISD.
people wear a tie.
That's right. Pratt, they're more of a turkey club crowd. RISD, meatball sub. God, I can't believe meatball sub. That's not going to get him the job. No. Ham. Ham sandwich.
Those people also don't have to go on the Craigslist for jobs, but that's just the truth of the matter.
Oh.
No, that's fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you should have interest on you. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be like an HR thing. It's like they want to get like a picture. But I guess you have like the most boring fields that you go into, and it's I'm not saying it's not interesting. Don't get me wrong. Cancer research, fascinating. You make it sound boring because I think it is boring with what you do.
Yeah, well, the field, and I assume people I used to work with, I don't know if they're listening anymore because I said I hated them, but I went.
They were fully supported. They had like Rich t-shirts on, and then they heard the first episode and they were like, we're out. We can't couldn't possibly.
Yeah,
stick
well,
around
I'll
for
tell you one thing, because they were going to fire me if I didn't find a new job. So it's just the truth. Just the truth of the matter. But because I did exercise cancer research, which is not a real field, and no one studies that field at all. So basically, I just went in there into the interview, and I said a lot of like hot button cancer words.
How do you feel like that's reflective of your personality?
Because I went in there reflective of my personality, that I'm fucking smarter than you. That's why. That I'm smarter than people that still have that job. I walked in there, I was like, oh yeah, so I know that the left ventricular ejection fraction in a HER2 positive cancer patient drops down. It could be about like 35%. I know we're trying to improve this through aerobic exercise. And they're like, no one knows what any of those words mean here, but you're right. So you got the job. And then I met my coworkers, and I got into an argument with one of them on how a chest press is a shoulder press. And that's when I knew this isn't the job for me anymore.
Now, when you say that, you're the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
But when I say Paul Rand designed the FedEx logo, suddenly I'm Mr. Boring, Mr. Uninteresting Creative Facts over here. Mr. Paul Rand probably didn't do graphic design in the 40s. Okay, all right, I hear you.
He did it in the 40s and made the logo for FedEx, a company made in the 70s?
Yeah.
That's too long of a tenure.
Yeah. Yeah, tenure, graphic design tenure. He had tenure. We couldn't fire him.
He was graphic design for about 15 years. There was no one more graphic design than Paul Rand.
He's been coasting. He has tenure. This in-house graphic designer.
Paul Rand is now that he's the upper echelon of what you can be. From now on, if you want to talk about who's the best in their field, it's Paul Rand.
That wasn't debated before.
In any field.
In any field?
Yeah.
Who is the best basketball player of all time? Paul Rand.
I was watching The Last Dance, a fucking 8-part series. I'm like, they didn't talk about Paul Rand once in this thing.
Move over, MJ. Here comes PR. Oh, man.
But yeah. So that's how I go about interviews, just knowing more than them.
I go into an interview hoping that they don't ask any real questions and that we just talk and become best friends, and they go, "You're in." That's because I don't want to. I don't want to talk about graphic design.
Well,
with people
before I got my,
it's like you bring in a graphic designer so that you don't have to deal with this headache of graphic design, right?
Right.
So why would I want to talk to an interview with a graphic designer should go, do you think you can do it? And I go, yes. They go, great. Then they go, what's your personality like? Because we're probably going to be talking a lot. And I go, all right, ham. and that's, I roll out from there, and I feel like that's how you hire a graphic designer.
Okay.
Maybe you go, here's some, and also portfolios is like, you're showing your great examples of.
That I get. I get why you need a portfolio.
Yeah, the portfolio is way more, I think it's way more important than the resume, at least when you're starting out.
Of course.
Because it's like, you can talk about your internships, but for the most part, internships are more or less bullshit. And then you just show them cool work, and they go, great, you could do something like this. Are you shitty? And then I'm like, I hope not. And then they're going, that's a great answer. You're hired. That's interviewing a graphic designer.
I have nothing to say.
Oh boy, yeah. It's come to a screeching halt.
Screeching halt. All right. Well, good up.
Yeah, good up.
All right. Team, we'll see you later.
We'll see you.
Have a good one.
Bye.